show. But for right now, I have former mayor of Schenectady. He was mayor for 16 years. He has many accomplishments. Frank Duci, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
I wanted to interview you. I wanted you to be my first official sit-down interview because you've been very instrumental in helping me or in supporting me throughout my years of doing the show.
Well, you've done a great job.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Really enjoyed your shows.
Yes, and he shows up often to episodes of my show, Truth Talk, don't you?
Right.
Showed up a few times, so we like having you there. So you were mayor 16 years.
I wish I had her voice, you know.
Yeah, she did a great job, didn't she?
I can't even sing a American tune.
Yeah, we were just bopping to the beat over here. And you have a show on Channel 16, right? Frankly Speaking. How long you been doing that show?
Ever since we put cable in existence here in the city of Schenectady. I was mayor at that time. This was in the 70s. I think it was about 75, 76, something like that.
And when does your show air?
And it airs every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock.
At 9 o'clock. So mine comes out at 8 o'clock.
Right.
So you could tune in Tuesdays from 8 to 10 and check out me and Frank, right?
Right.
And what do you mainly discuss on your show?
Well, I see an awful lot of people each and every day, you know, and people have been my priority ever since I got involved, you know, in elective capacity going back to 1959. And so to this day, even though I'm not in an elective capacity, they still call me for one thing or another. And I love them, and I do whatever I can to help them.
So you address different issues that are going on in the community?
Yeah, I hear from the people every day, and so I address the issues that they talk about and their concerns that they have, whether it be taxation or improvements in the city or whatever, you know.
And question, because you're such a great guy, why did you choose to become a Republican?
Well, that's a good question. As a matter of fact, well, when I first got involved, this was in 1949, and my wife, God rest her soul, really, she was one of 16 Irishmen. She had 10 brothers and 5 sisters, and they come from Granville, and they got involved in government there a little bit. And she says, well, why don't you make up your mind as to whether you want to be a Democrat or a Republican, you know? And a couple of friends of mine says, be a Republican, be a Republican. So I became a Republican.
So there's no real big reason behind it. You just became a Republican just to become a Republican.
Yeah, because a couple of friends of mine suggested it.
Oh, really?
Right.
That's interesting. And you were mayor for 16 years.
That's right.
That's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the longest tenure mayor in the history of the city.
Really?
And again, I thank the good Lord and the people for that. Yeah. And I loved every minute of it. As I say, it was a governmental challenge that I enjoyed every single day. An awful lot of things that, you know, we spearheaded. Matter of fact, I have over 50, you know, programs, projects that I spearheaded while I was an elected official and mayor. And thanks to the legislative body that approved them as well, and they have been put in place. So it's things like that, those governmental challenges and working for the people on a day-to-day basis that, you know, keeps me involved. I was a county legislator for 12 years, and during that period, you know, we spearheaded the move to put in a brand new library and branch libraries, and I was chairman of education, and we, at that time, we bought the Vancouver Hotel for $750,000, turned it into a community college. And during that period, I met an awful lot of people who were concerned about some of the problems that they were having in the city of Schenectady. And so I thought, well, you know, maybe I'll take a crack at running for mayor and see what I can do to help them. And again, thank God and the people, and my family and friends, I got elected mayor. And I continued to run for 12 years as mayor. And then I ran again in 1992 through 95. And one of the things that I'm most proud of in 92 through 95 is we spent less than budgeted. We come in at $43 million, and in 1995, our budget was just a little bit over $43 million, and that was the first in the history of the city.
And very few people have done that, right?
Yeah, when Al Jasinski got in, it went from $43 million to $63 million.
Oh, wow.
And a $10 million deficit.
Wow.
So
he brought us down a little bit, didn't he?
but we're very proud of that, you know. And again, I have to thank all the people and the legislators that were involved, and my staff, indeed, who did an outstanding job. People like Fred Bartz, who was finance chairman, and Mike Cuevas and Paul Tucker and the attorneys, and people like that who certainly put in an awful lot of input.
And who were some of your major influences throughout your life?
Well, again, it was the people on
people.
a day-to-day basis. Yeah, as I say, you know, I placed them as the #1 priority. And as a matter of fact, because of that, and I'm very proud of this too, my own party gave me 3 primaries because I was never a rubber stamp. Mm-hmm. And I try to point out to them, you can't be a rubber stamp. Once you're elected, you got to forget you're a Democrat or Republican, and you're working for the people, and you're a legislator, you know. And so some of the things that, you know, the majority wanted at that time and my own party wanted, I didn't want to go along with. And, you know, so we had some hassles there.
Anything that you wish you had done as mayor that you didn't do? Any regrets?
I wish I stayed in.
You wish you would have stayed in?
I wish I ran at 95 instead of dropping out.
Really? So you could have ran?
Yeah, because I love working for the people, you know. I just love it on a day-to-day basis.
And why do you think people relate to you so well?
Well, I think because I've really displayed the fact that I do place them as a #1 priority, and I still do on a day-to-day basis. And wherever I go, people are so nice to me. And as a matter of fact, one time, I'll give you an example, walking in a market, and this one woman come up to me and she says, "Oh, Mayor," she said, "I'm so happy you did such and such, such and such, and we appreciate that so much." And I turned around to my wife later on, and I said, "You know," I said, "you couldn't buy that for $1 million." I said, "That kind of gratitude, you know." And my wife says, "I'll take the $1 million." But anyway, that's the way I feel about people.
And I must say that, you know, I've heard people say that they've called Frank Duci on issues, and he has called them back almost right away.
Oh, yeah.
You've called people back.
Well,
And, you know, that's rare, you know, to get somebody who cares that much.
Well, I made it a policy. I got to work in the morning about 7:30 every morning. And the first thing I did is respond to all the letters that I received. And after I responded to those letters and gave them to my secretary when she came in, she would type them and respond to the people. And then starting at about 9 o'clock, I would return all the phone calls. And I did that on a day-to-day basis. And I'd also go down there on Saturday mornings and work Saturday mornings as well to catch up with some of the remarks that were made by people, you know, and responses that were required.
And I was 12 years old, and he was taking me seriously, and not many people take 12-year-olds seriously, and you were one of the few to do that.
Well, when you came to me, and I thought, for heaven's sakes, at that age, you know, what's he going to do? And thank God, God bless you, you've done a great job, because after I introduced you to these people, you were on your own, and you did a fantastic job all of these years, and you're still doing that.
I thank you very much. And you have run for other positions in office in the past. What have you been elected for in the past?
Well, I ran for Republican committeeman in 1949, and every 2 years the people elected me in the north end of Schenectady. Then in 1959 I ran for the county legislative office, and I got elected in 59, and I ran every 4 years there. I ran through 3 terms, 12 years. And then, and during those years, like I say, you know, we did an awful lot of things. And what was really nice about it was the fact that Democrats and Republicans worked together. We would disagree respectfully, but on major projects like putting together a community college, a library, branch libraries, Glendale Nursing Home, and all that we put together, we worked together on that, see? And we forgot about being a Republican or a Democrat, but that doesn't happen today, and that's sad. But anyway, then I ran for mayor in 1971, through 1983, when my wife, I went to, that year I was supposed to run for re-election, and I went with my wife, God rest her soul, took her to New York. She had a problem, and she ultimately passed away. And while I was there in New York City, my opponent was saying I was hiding in New York City to avoid debating. But I would not tell the press that she had cancer. I didn't want to use my wife to enhance my political career.
You didn't want people to feel sorry for you.
No, I didn't want that, and to use that to get elected. And so I come back, and I lost by about 150 votes. I came back the day before the election.
Wow.
And
so it was that close.
Yeah,